Okay, this is the next demo of the size adjustment tool. We're concerned about the gross living area, or the GLA, square footage adjustment on the URAR form. So we're going to focus in on how we make those adjustments in each one of those cells. It's really an 8-step process. We select the neighborhood, and we want to limit it to probably the last 3 months of data so we don't have the influence of time affecting our rates. We export that data once we've selected it. We calculate the rate per square foot. We plot a scatter plot, and then from that we can generate a regression line. And then we compute the slope and y-intercept of the regression line. And then we use that line to make our relative size adjustments. So first step is we select the neighborhood, draw our neighborhood area, select those comps, and export those, and calculate the price per gross living area and plot that. It looks like there is somewhat of a relationship there, which we would expect once we do the regression line and plot it through those points. We also want to note the equation that's going to tell us what that line looks like. We'll use that equation to calculate all of the comps or the subject properties that fall on that line. Let's just remove the actual plots from the sales, and so we just have the line, the regression line, and the grid. So the first thing that we can do is a sales model analysis, and in this case we just display our graph along with the price graph. And remember, the price graph is actually generated from this rate per gross living area graph. We're just multiplying the rate times the size, and that produces our our price graph. And that price graph, note that it is concave, it's a parabola, because you're changing the price and the square footage both, and that that actually creates that slope curve on the overall price. So if we just touch either one of these, the program will display a vector for you on both graphs, and it will also display the size of the property that you're looking at, as well as the rate that's been computed off the line. And from the size and the rate, it will compute the value and display both of those. Now, if we're using our desktop, we can just grab our mouse and point at that dot, or if we're using our smartphone, we just use our finger and we just move up and down that line, and we can move that. And notice we move up and down our line, either the price line or the rate per GLA line. It will move, and it will recalculate the size, the rate, and the value. So once we've kind of got ourselves comfortable with that, we can move on to the comp analysis, or the comp size adjustment analysis. So in this case, we are looking at the graph again. If we touch the subject dot, and then it will display on the graph, and then we can do the same thing here. We can move that up or down and watch what happens to the size, the rate, and the value from that line. And what we're going to want to do here is just move our we would go point at the comp button, and that would display a comp against that. And that comp, once you've displayed it there, it will show you the size, the rate, and the value of the comp. And it will also calculate the difference to the subject. It will tell us what the size difference is in square footage, the rate adjustment, and also the total adjustment. So the total adjustment is equal to the size difference times the adjustment rate. And we can do the same thing there. We can move that up or down, and when we do that, it's going to recalculate all those values for us. Now we're comparing a 1,200 square foot property to our subjects. It's 2,000 feet, so a 1,200 square foot property on this grid should sell for about $100 a square foot, or $120,000. Note that the difference, it's 800 square feet smaller. Our adjustment rate is about 79, 71, and looks like I need to correct that adjustment factor there, but once that's corrected, then it'll show us the difference. And we can move back and forth on this line. So that is the new Data Master tool, and we could write this so it displays either on a desktop or on a mobile device.